Imagine the woman who has gone through thousands of years without ever losing her power of fascination. Cleopatra, the last queen of Egypt, is not just a historical character. She has become an archetype, an eternal symbol of female power, strategic intelligence, irresistible sensuality, and natural magnetism. When we talk about the archetype of Cleopatra, we are diving into the energy of the woman who knows exactly what she wants and does not measure efforts to achieve. She not only attracts, she dominates with elegance, uses her mind as the most powerful weapon, and understands that true power comes from within. The archetype of Cleopatra is activated by those who wish to rescue their personal sovereignty, assume their prominent position, and live authentically without asking for permission to shine. It is the embodiment of woman who seduces by presence, who influences with wisdom, and who conquers by the simple fact of being who she is, a force of nature, wrapped in mystery, beauty, and command. By working the energy of Cleopatra in your life, you awaken dormant skills, magnetic charisma, natural leadership, intuition aflame, and the ability to transform situations in your favor. This archetype is perfect for those who feel they need to regain self-confidence, reconnect with their powerful femininity, and learn how to create a reality where they are treated as queen, not coadjuvant. Cleopatra knew that perception is a weapon, and cultivated her image as an instrument of power. From the choice of her clothes to the perfumes she wore, everything was strategy. Incorporating this archetype is therefore much more than adopting a sensual posture. It is learning to use its presence as a field of influence and create an aura of mystery, intelligence, and magnetism that makes it impossible to be ignored. In the emotional aspect, Cleopatra's archetype teaches that true strength is in the balance between vulnerability and control. She loved with intensity, but never lost her mind, felt deeply, but acted with strategy. Cleopatra was not a slave to her emotions. She understood them, manipulated them, and directed them towards her greater goals. Who activates this archetype becomes able to access this same ability, live intense emotions without getting lost in them, channel feelings into powerful actions, and use passion as fuel to build empires, whether they are projects, business, or personal transformations. It is the archetype of the woman who feels deeply, but acts with mastery, who allows himself to love, but never forgets his non-negotiable value. Adopting the archetype of Cleopatra in everyday life is to practice the mastery of three great pillars: impactful presence, strategic communication, and personal magnetism. In practice, this means taking care of your image intentionally, using your voice to influence, mastering the art of persuasion, and learning to read the social game like a true strategist. It is to develop the ability to be desired, respected, and followed, not because you force this, but because your energy simply cannot be ignored. This archetype is activated in women who are ready to leave behind the role of those waiting to be chosen, and become the one who chooses. When you walk in the energy of Cleopatra, you understand that your throne is not given. It is taken by the firmness of your presence, the clarity of your mind, and the fire of your soul. Activating the archetype of Cleopatra is like lighting an ancient flame that exists within you, a force that combines inner royalty, personal power, and irresistible magnetism. For this, the first step is the awakening of the conscious presence. Cleopatra was not only noticed, she made a point of being felt in the environment before even being seen. To activate this presence, start every day by connecting with your posture, your breath, and your gaze. Walk like a queen who knows that the ground bends at your feet. Adjust your shoulders, align your spine, breathe deeply, and carry the energy of those who do not need to prove anything to anyone. Body language is the first crown you wear. Every gesture, every movement, every smile must communicate. I command my world. From the moment you occupy your space with intention, you have already begun to activate the archetype of Cleopatra in its essence. The second step is to master the art of strategic communication. Cleopatra was a master at using words as a spell. She knew that whoever controls the narrative controls the game. To activate this power, work your speech intentionally. Speak in a paused manner, use silence as an impact tool, look into the eyes, choose words that convey security and mystery. Never reveal everything at once. One of the secrets of Cleopatra's archetype is to leave room for the other to wonder, desire, imagine. When you learn to be strategic with your communication, you naturally raise your social value and create a magnetic field around you. Remember, it's not about talking too much. It's about making every word carry its authority, its mystery, and its intelligence. A woman who dominates her speech also dominates her destiny. The third step is to cultivate your personal magnetism from the inside out. Cleopatra understood that physical beauty was only one layer. What really attracted her was the energy she emanated. Work your self-care as a sacred ritual. Choose clothes that express your strength and femininity. Wear fragrances that mark presence without exaggeration. Take care of your skin, your hair, your smile. But above all, take care of your energy. Make claims of power every day. Visualize yourself as the queen of your life and never allow the outside world to define your value. True magnetism comes from internal security. It is to look in the mirror and recognize the sovereign that inhabits you. When his energy is self-approval, the world bends before his presence. Cleopatra knew it. You will also know and feel when to activate this vibration. The fourth step is to practice emotional sovereignty. Cleopatra loved, negotiated, fought, and connected with the world from her inner strength. This means that she did not react impulsively. She chose her battles, her allies, and her moments of surrender. To activate this sovereignty in you, develop the ability to observe your feelings without being dominated by them. Before reacting, ask yourself, does this action bring me closer to my throne or away from it? Be selective with whom you share your energy. Understand that your attention is a gift, not an obligation. And always remember, Cleopatra did not need to beg for love, respect, or recognition. She naturally attracted all this because she knew that its value was non-negotiable. When you embody this consciousness, you don't just activate the archetype of Cleopatra, you become the very Cleopatra of your story. If this journey touched something inside you, don't stop here. This was only the first step of its activation. Sign up now in the channel to continue receiving the next days of the challenge. Comment below. I have accepted my reign to seal your commitment to your transformation. And don't forget to watch the next video, where we will further deepen your inner royalty. The Cleopatra who lives in you is just beginning to awaken. Your throne awaits you, and the world will learn to see you with other eyes.